Now, what I have in this video for you is kind of my baptism into the world of media control and that sort of thing. And I think I kind of understood some of this stuff, but seeing it unfold in real time, I think really radically changed my worldview. So back in 2002, in fall of 2002, that was really the beginning of the Iraq War as far as the PR blitz to really get everybody and really honestly it probably would be better off, really you could track it all the way back to 9/11, but in spring of 2002 is when that really started hearing all these shows, NPR, Fox News, didn't matter, MSNBC, everybody was running programming that was directing the general population towards war with Iraq. And then all the weapons of mass destruction stuff started popping up, and watching all of that unfold, I had just hit a point where I was awake enough politically and to a lot of the deception going on that it was like watching a slow motion car accident of knowing this thing is very bad and horrible, but you can't stop it. And about the closest anybody came to at least stopping or at least getting attention on it was there was a worldwide protest against the war that was about, I think about two and a half weeks or so maybe before the war actually started. Might have been as much as a month, but I think it was about middle of February of 2003 when there was a worldwide protest, and my ex-wife and I took part in that along with my parents and some of my other friends. And the fascinating thing about that protest was, you know, a lot of people would say now, well, what good did it do? Well, it did a lot for the people that were there. The very revealing thing for any of the participants was seeing that it was not a bunch of left-wing hippies or you know, fringe elements. These were people literally all across the political, socioeconomic spectrum that were all like terrified of what was happening to our country. And there were conservatives, liberals, Republicans, Democrats, you name it, anarchists, everybody that was like, this is madness. This whole idea of you know, the Congress authorizing the use of force to the president, all these weird legal fictions used to prop up this thing. Anybody paying attention to it was rightfully terrified. And the fascinating thing about this protest was, so I brought my video camera along, and I'm going to play that footage here in a minute. And the fascinating thing about that was it was way bigger than I expected it to be. I mean, I expected there to be a pretty decent crowd, but at the time I was living in Richardson, north of Dallas, and took the DART train down to downtown Dallas. And the DART trains were full of people. I mean, for a Saturday, typically Saturdays are, unless there's like a football game or something downtown, there's not much reason to be on the DART train. And the DART trains were full of people coming and going, taking everybody downtown for this protest. And again, there were people all over the spectrum out there. Ran into conservatives, Republicans, Democrats, liberals, whatever you want to call them, and everybody was saying the same thing. This is madness. What are we doing? And then probably the biggest part of this that, I think kind of knocked the scales off my eyes was I was filming this with my video camera, and the way it was aired later that night, and again, I had to kind of hit a point at this point in time that I knew there were a lot of lies being told, but to actually witness the lies unfolding was a different thing for me. But the coverage that evening, after I'd filmed this and seen it with my own eyes, we had already seen it a few other times in other previous protests where they were trying to downplay the numbers and claim there weren't as many people there as there actually were. And as you'll see in this clip, I actually confront a couple of reporters that are there about that, and they did not think that was as funny as I did. But to actually see the multitudes of people filling up the streets in downtown Dallas. And then that night, the focus was on the counter protests rather than the actual protests. And even then, they filmed it at a really steep upward angle in some of the shots, so you could never see all the people that were there. And it made it look like it was, maybe a few dozen people showed up. And as you'll see from the footage, the streets were literally full of people. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play that for you. And like I said, hopefully this is an interesting slice of life view into history some over 21 years ago. And it's kind of sad watching this, knowing that the war machine stops for no one. It kept on going, but I guarantee you a lot of the people there that were there that day will forever remember, hopefully, that the same people that are telling us, Ukraine good, Russia bad, are the same people that were telling us this stuff back in late winter of 2003. But just remember, these are the same people that told us the lies about that are the same ones telling us all the things that we're supposed to do now. So I think that's an important thing to remember, because it's sad to see. I have friends and relatives who were awake to what was happening then, but now somehow believe that they're telling the truth this time. So anyway, so I hope you'll enjoy the footage. And like I said, some of you probably weren't even born then. So some of you were probably too young to really know what all was going on. But here's a good look into what was happening in February of 2003. So enjoy. Howdy, sir.
I was thinking about, I was sitting there like, he's himself.
Hey, ladies, let me check out those signs here.
Jesus says, love your enemies.
I love it. Thank you.
What I did was I thought...
Can I see your sign?
I got a really good job on YouTube Spanish.
Thank you. Howdy, gentlemen. Just wanted to see how you guys are enjoying the festivities today. Everybody enjoying things? It's a beautiful day, a peaceful day, if you will. Thank you, sir. I love your sign. Thank you. So what's the other side say? Oh, I love it. Thank you.
We thought we could stand there and jump in when it
Harold E. Revolution. I just don't agree with it. I mean, I'm Palestinian, and it's enough is good what's going on in Palestine. I just don't agree to what's going to go on in Iraq.
Good. What's your name?
Mason
Spell the last name for me.
K-A-T.
Well, that's a very lucid and thoughtful position. Have you and your classmates and your family? Yeah.
All right, brothers and sisters. Getting close. 15 more minutes and we start.
Can I see your sign, sir? Thank you. Thank you.
Made it myself.
So, how many people you think are here today? What, 30, maybe 40?
Oh, come on.
Not defending the will of the people. By the crowd that we don't want war, we want peace. George Bush is not listening. We need to drop a bomb on George Bush. Thank you.
What station are you guys with? Or what is there, about 40 people here today? Maybe more? Good to see you guys.
Yes.